Hey everyone, my name is Aubrey, and this is my Module 2 video discussion board prompt. So for question 1, it is explain how you will assign and apply the grading process in your future classroom. So I said that my grading process will focus on ways to show students' personal growth as well as to help guide my instruction. I will use assessments, class work, projects, and participation to get a sense of how the students are progressing over the year. Um, since children are always developing core skills, I will definitely put a strong emphasis on the progress over time and celebrate small steps of student growth. There will be rubrics and checklists to help me stay consistent and fair when grading. Grading also serves as a feedback for me as a teacher. If there are patterns that start to show that students are struggling um, on a certain topic, I will obviously check my lessons and adjust and have more resources available to them um, to help with that. And then my first quote that I have was from an article that states that formative assessment involves the ongoing evaluation of student learning to provide feedback to guide instruction and improve student performance. Um, this shows that grading is more about checking in with the students' progress as well as providing feedback for the students and for the teacher. This supports my idea of using grading as a tool for growth and not just as like a score. This can ensure that grades reflect not only what the students know, but also how well kind of my teaching methods are meeting their needs and how much they're retaining from it. Grading is a tool to encourage effort and to track progress and to support continued learning. For question 2, it states to specifically please explain how you will inform students of their progress during the grading term. I think for elementary school students, especially, they need clear and simple feedback. So I will inform students of their progress through verbal praise, stickers, prizes, and written notes that highlight what they're doing well, what they could practice more. I also want to hold one on one check ins. This is a time where I can show them their work on how much they have improved to help them see what they can improve on. And then from there, kind of set small goals to focus on next. I had this when I was in elementary school, and I think it personally helped me a lot. So I wanted to implement that. Um, this can help students feel proud of themselves while being given the motivation to grow more. I also keep families updated throughout the grading term. Communication tools like weekly folders, progress notes, and parent teacher conferences will provide parents with a clear picture of their child's academic development. By keeping both the student and their parents informed, this can build a strong relationship that supports the children in reaching their goals in and outside of the classroom. For question 3, how will subject achievement be monitored and recorded during the grading period? I said that I will monitor student subject achievements by using formal and informal assessments. Formal assessments include quizzes, tests, and other performance tasks, while informal assessments include observations, discussions, participation through daily classwork activities. And I feel like the combination of both of these is important, especially for younger children, since they can show like learning in many different ways. One example could be how some students are more hands on, so they do better with hands on activities rather than just given a worksheet to do. Since there are so many different types of learners, I think that's why it is especially important to make sure that um, I can assess them in many different ways. I will record their achievements in a gradebook, but will also, again, use checklists and notes to help keep track of their skills. This can also allow me to notice smaller areas of growth and having this recorded not only helps me to like assign fair grades, but also gives me evidence to share with the families and use when planning other instruction. Question 4: how will effort and knowledge be weighed in grading? I feel like to me, effort is just as important as knowledge because it helps build habits for future success. I will give credit for effort by observing participations, persistence, and completion of assignments. Students who are constantly trying their best, even when assignments can be difficult, um, their effort will be recognized. I feel like this encourages resilience in students and having that growth mindset. These are definitely important skills to build on during the earlier stages of learning. While at the same time, knowledge obviously must be the forefront of grading because it shows what the students have learned and retained. I will measure this again through assessments and projects and daily work in all subject areas. The effort will support the students' grades, but it won't replace the importance of fully understanding the topic and lessons that were covered that week. I feel like this balance can help students feel rewarded for trying their best while also kind of being held accountable for meeting their learning objectives, I guess, during that unit. For question 5: how will good or bad behavior affect your grading process? To me, academic grades will not be directly affected by behavior since these grades should, I feel like, reflect what the students can do academically. Instead, behavior will be recorded kind of separately through progress reports, behavior charts, and communication with parents. I feel like the separation can make sure that students are not negatively impacted academically for other unrelated issues, but it still teaches them the importance of making those good choices and having a good behavior in the classroom. Positive behavior will be encouraged through praise and rewards, while poor behavior can be addressed through conversations and parent involvement when necessary. While the student's behavior won't lower academic grades, it will like affect their participation and like the overall classroom environment. I feel like taking this approach can keep the focus on learning while also teaching students the social and personal responsibility skills that they need to succeed. For my choice question, I chose number 2. The last 3 items in the cognitive taxonomy: analysis, synthesis, and evaluation are often called higher order thinking skills. Why are they considered higher order, and what general characteristics do they exhibit? Analysis, synthesis, and evaluation are considered higher order thinking skills because they require students to move beyond being able just to recall or understand information. Instead of remembering the facts, students have to kind of break down information, look at how things can connect to one another, and kind of make decisions based on the evidence and facts that they were given. Analysis involves examining kind of parts of a whole, things like finding patterns in a story or comparing to problem solving strategies kind of in math. I feel like these skills take more mental effort because they engage the critical thinking, problem solving, and creativity kind of skills. Synthesis requires students to bring together different pieces of knowledge kind of to create something new, like writing an original story. Evaluation involves kind of judging the value like of ideas or solutions by determining which is stronger, which is more effective, what is not effective. Um, According to Anderson's revision of Bloom taxonomy, lower order thinking skills are subsumed by and provide the foundation for higher order thinking skills. These levels are higher order because they require students to use and apply reasoning that they have from the lower steps to be able to justify their thinking and to be able to make deeper connections. And those are my references.